Hi, my name is Wayne Larson. I'm delighted to be with you to share today's meditation. I serve as a chaplain at Fairhaven in Sykesville, Maryland, but also the senior chaplain for the Chesapeake region. Today I have a question for you. Does God have a purpose for our lives? And does that purpose change or remain constant? That question might be on one's mind, especially during this unique time that we are living in. Solomon, the author of Ecclesiastes, I believe, does have an answer for us. For we are told that there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. Reminded of that in Ecclesiastes 3:1. For everything is a season, a time for every activity under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to harvest. There is a season for everything, and our lives appear to reflect the natural seasons of life. We begin with spring, enter the summer of our lives, and later autumn, and end up with winter. In every stage of life, there is no defined boundaries, no visible doorways that we enter. As we enter into another time or season of our life, we might still be hanging on another or previous one. I know for myself, during my 30s, I always thought of myself being in my 20s. The same is true that when I was in my 40s and 50s, that I considered myself much younger than my actual years. However, there's been times that I have been jolted by the fact of my real age, such as receiving an AARP magazine at age 50, or being offered the first time a senior discount at Taco Bell. While Ecclesiastes 3 touches on the basic function of our lives, that consists of planting and harvesting, Genesis 8, verse 22, also reaffirms this fact, as verse 22 says, "As long as the earth remains, there will be springtime and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, day and night." Perhaps we can look at life in a similar way, by seasons. The first part of our life we focus on activities of planting. In the spring, summer of our life, we spend a great amount of time being established, investing in getting an education, entering a particular career, many getting married, having and raising children. In one's middle age, late summer and early fall, there is a shift of focus. Perhaps it might be a time to help one's late teen children launch, go to college. Once children are raised, focus on other things, such as rediscovering relationships, improving self, and changing careers, as well as build up reserves for retirement. Later in life, in fall and winter, one enters into the harvest stage, the time of retirement. For some, a time of rest, and others, a new chapter. But life does not end. Some discover a new passion that brings meaning. I recall an older friend of mine, an educator from Michigan, who retired to Southern California a number of years ago. And I was surprised when visiting her a couple years ago that she showed me her artist studio in downtown Santa Barbara. I was surprised, as well as her other friends in Michigan, that she was such a talented artist, since she was never known to pick up a paintbrush. She said in her younger years she was afraid to pick up a paintbrush, since she said she thought she would never put it down again. Her focus and her whole purpose was improving education, and she served as a consultant to the White House on early child learning, especially in the inner city. But now in retirement, she had not only picked up a brush, but had blossomed into a very accomplished artist. Many, using their God-given talents, are able to make an impact on both individuals and communities through volunteering, during the season of their lives. In all stages or seasons of our life, our spiritual life is what grounds us. For our spiritual lives, relating to our relationship with God gives us meaning and purpose in every season. Like all things in life, what we plant, we also harvest. Through prayer, as we connect with God, devote time in reading scriptures as well as spiritual works, growing in knowledge, engaging in worship and service to others, while building up a reservoir of faith, and help define our purpose in every stage of our life. Author, retreat leader, and clergy person Barbara Crafton shares her own experiences, having struggled at times with clinical depression and discovering the need to draw on her own spiritual resources later, trusting the fact that God has been faithful in the past and will be faithful and take care of us in the future. We might not know what the future holds, but we trust in the one who holds the future. For all of us, our purpose and focus will change and be different. However, whatever season we find ourselves in, God is with us and will lead us into a full and meaningful life while we plant and later reap the harvest. For everything is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to harvest. Thank you for joining me today.